Some residents in eThekwini say they're worried that there could be more violence in the wake of that court order yesterday that ordered the former President Jacob Zuma to return to jail. The High Court sitting in Tshwane ruled that Zuma's release on medical parole was unlawful. While the former President and the Correctional Services Department say they'll appeal this order, some people are suggesting Zuma should be placed on house arrest to avoid more violence. We're joined now by Newzroom Afrika reporter in eThekwini for us, Karinda Jagmohan. Karinda, good afternoon to you. You've been speaking to people there. They bore the brunt of the violence earlier this year. What have they been saying?
Many Durban residents, Stephen, are extremely worried about a possible resurgence of violence in the wake of the latest court order, essentially ordering the former president to go back to the custody of the Correctional Services Department. And while no time frame has been given for that, we know now that Zuma is appealing this along with the Correctional Services Department. Now, on the ground, allies of Zuma, including members of the ANC eThekwini branches, have told us that they're not mobilizing people, supporters as yet, because they're still waiting for the outcome of the appeal that is being led by Zuma and, of course, an appeal by the Correctional Services Department. But despite that, as we went around to, some of the main areas where people gather in Durban, especially because it's a reconciliation day, many people gathering at recreational parks, some at the beachfront. People there said that they were worried that they could see more looting take place. One person telling us,
if you want me to, I'm happy to. Do you want me to fill time or not?
Since the looting of July, where many people lost their jobs, and only now are people able to actually, try and recover from that. We see that some stores are able to actually finally renovate their buildings. Just recently, the Macro in Springfield, which opened up just on Monday this week, finally opened after they saw mass destruction. And so what residents on the ground are saying is that they fear that they could see this all over again. And now they've actually suggested that if Zuma must go to imprisonment, if he must be incarcerated as per these court orders, that perhaps this should be done via house arrest to evade the resurgence of violence, seemingly as a protest to call for Zuma's freedom, which we saw in July. Here's a look at what some of the people told us earlier today.
There's a whole lot more than sending a person to jail. And if he's really sick, and if it's medically found that he needs to be at home, then maybe he should be housebound, So there's many more issues than whether he goes to jail or not, and whether there's going to be unrest after this or not. But hopefully everybody is more awake than the first time and are ready for anything.
The only thing they must do, they must compromise. Because I am feeling that if they put him in jail, something going to happen. And for the old person like Jacob Zuma, I think the only thing they must do, they must compromise with him and maybe pardon him. Because the more they will do that, things are going to be very bad. We don't want to be in a situation like what happened last time.
Karinda Jagmohan, thanks very much indeed, live on the streets of eThekwini for you this afternoon. Of course, watching that process very, very closely. Well.